Hey, what's going on, man? This your boy Ari Starks with my bro Sue, man. Welcome to Starks and Smarks, episode 12. Oh man, we're coming off of a fallout from Monday Night Raw Survivor Series, Thanksgiving weekend, all of that nature, man. Survivor Series owned the weekend. What a great show. The follow-up to it on Monday Night Raw was just as good also. And we also are going to be talking a little bit of NXT, and they were with the contestants being released for the NXT Deadline pay-per-view. So we're gonna get into starting with that. But let's start with like I said, the pay-per-view of the weekend, Survivor Series. I got most of my thoughts out on Get Your Bars Off podcast with Low. So Sue, I'll let you take it, man. What was your thoughts on Survivor Series War Games 2022?
Two things. Two things about the pay-per-view for me. My two gripes. What the fuck was up with Ronda and Shotzi match? Like that, I felt like Shotzi did not perform as good as she could have been. And what else? Why didn't we get? I love the AJ Styles match and Finn, but why didn't we get a Judgment Day versus OC Survivor Series match?
Do you want me to answer that, or are you just asking that?
No, you just go. You can go ahead and answer that if you want.
I mean, I think the main at the beginning of this, they were setting up Finn versus AJ, I believe, the whole time, and then they still wanted to bring back Carl Anderson and Gallows, and that's, you know what I'm saying, we bring it to the faction versus faction feud going into Survivor Series because that's the theme of the pay-per-view. But at the end of the day, the money match for a big four, big five pay-per-view is Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. But how do you still keep the fans enthralled and intrigued and such for the next show? Give them that match. The OC versus Judgment Day, which they did. And then with the Shotzi and Ronda joined, I just think I think it's just a bad night for Shotzi. I think she's been having a little comeuppance, but she's only been able to get in the ring with like once or twice with some really good workers. Other than that, it's been people that's literally under her level or not much above her level. You know what I'm saying? That she really can't learn too much from. Like she's wrestled Natalia and Bailey, I believe, so far. That's the most like experience.
That's like a couple of the best ones. That's like the longest women's veteran wrestling. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. Those are the only two that she wrestled. But other than that, it's been like Aaliyah. It's been like Sonya Deville or whoever she was wrestling during her heel run. I mean, she wasn't really doing nothing with that. But yeah, this Ronda wasn't the one to really get that match out of her. She's a wild energy, and Ronda is too, like, she needs to have somebody guide her through something to have a good match. And Shotzi's not that. She needs somebody to kind of like hone what she's doing. Even though I personally felt like she should have kind of stayed on in NXT for a little while longer to like kind of clean up a lot of those little things that are outside the lines. But some of the things that are outside the lines kind of make Shotzi. So hopefully that can get cleaned up going in the future. Putting her in this moment kind of showed that she's still not really ready yet. So it's still a lot to be worked on for sure, man. But yeah, man.
I think it's just
what was your positives of the show? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My bad, but still on the Shotzi and Ronda situation. I feel like it's just two different offenses and two different women's wrestlers. Like I feel like Ronda is somebody who wants to be here. And then I feel like if the energy not there, she's not going to give it her all.
Probably, or she just probably her all is literally. I think her all, what she's giving her all is literally not. It's not really that. It's not the standard of what we're really what we've been seeing in the women's division of WWE. But what's your positives of the show that you got to see before we, talk a little bit more in depth?
Positives. We got Becky Lynch back.
The man is back. Not big time back, none of that. The man.
The man.
Nah, you gotta say like the man.
Everything else was good besides those two things. Everything was a great paper. It was a great pay-per-view. I think it was a little bit better than Full Gear.
A little bit.
I think it was better than Full Gear, actually. No lie.
Like shit, I thought it was heads and like leaps and bounds better.
I think just the
best part of Full Gear was the 6-man tag match. And damn near the cage match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, for me, man.
Yeah. Damage Control. I like the setup of Asuka and Mia Yim. I mean, not Mia Yim. What's her name? Io Shirai.
Setup. That should have been in the cook. That I think, honestly,
Like,
I think that was. If they don't do it, that's where it ends right there. I believe for the time being. Until Asuka is like officially solo.
Yeah.
I feel like that feud can really only work when you have the balance of English talking, English promos, and the addition of the, Japanese fierce promos that they doing back and forth with each other, going back and forth with each other. You doing that for a whole 9 minutes or so when they're trying to nobody's gonna, they just want to see them wrestle at the end of the day. But like I said, I think like I said, for me watching it, I'm just still looking like, obviously still looking like Rhea is still in line to face Bianca, given that Bayley's tension is going towards Becky. Because Becky turned the fuck up in that match. Like, turned up immensely. That leg drop off the top of the cage, fire. Like, that's the man. That's who I've been missing. That's who I've been missing right there. For real. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest. Like, Bianca turned up in the beginning, but I mean, they did it the right way. You start with your baby face, you end with your baby face. So I thought that was interesting. Bayley versus Becky, looking like the next lineup for Becky. What you thinking about that?
I don't want Bayley to keep losing.
Like, she's gonna get some wins. She's definitely gonna get some wins out of it. Like, she beat what's her name? Bianca, if I'm not mistaken, right?
In a no contest.
True. Yeah, she do need a solid win over, but I don't think Becky's gonna be that one.
I feel like if they would have won the damage control, if the heel side of the women's war game match won, then we would have had a little bit more to tell going into it. But I'm not sure if that would have kept her in the title picture. I feel like also nothing weird happened with Alexa Bliss during that match, like pertaining to the Bray Wyatt shit.
It's still nothing going weird on.
Happened. No lights, no moth.
It happened on Monday. It happened on Raw.
It happened on Raw though, but it didn't happen during Survivor Series.
Well, if you notice her mannerisms after the win, she was kind of like zoned out.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the little pieces you gotta be looking out for. Pardon me. But yeah, that's because that's been the thing she did on Monday Night Raw also.
Only the Queen IK favors no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for sure. Because you just at first people are gonna think it's something like real and like, oh, yo, she was mad about something. Whoop de whoop. Not even peeping. The next show on Monday Night Raw, she did the same thing. They talking about the match, their win, and she's just zoned out and then had to snap back. Like, yo, you good? Like, and he's like, oh, yeah. Big win, shout out to Becky, all that stuff, whoop de whoop. And the little video popped up behind her too. So it's definitely in the works. It's definitely building. I'm just interested to see where they go with it though.
Yeah.
Like, it is going to be like a rendition of what we already seen, or is it going to be something like a little bit more from their perspective? You know what I'm saying? Their point of view, what they wanted to do, you know? But yeah, man, the women's War Games match, solid. Definitely got some little things coming out of that. But the biggest thing that was Becky coming back. And personally, I like it, but I don't like it overshining what's next for the champion. I think out of that match, you definitely should have known what was next for your champion. Because you had Becky get the win, which nothing wrong with it, but I didn't feel there was too much friction between what's her name, Bianca and Rhea, if that's the next move.
I feel like after this whole Judgment Day thing, I mean, not the Judgment Day story right now, not after Judgment Day, but after this whole storyline with the OC, I hope they do have it their match.
Well, let's move on to the next match. We had Finn Balor and AJ following up after this joint. Another goodie right there, man. A lot of bullet
after banger after.
Can we shout out to Michael Cole? Like, this dude has been using every little note been given to him or understood, like giving everybody thorough history, not thorough, at least thorough enough that you can talk about on WWE. You know what I'm saying? They talk about the club, not Bullet Club, but you know what I'm saying? Their relationship in Japan, all of that nature, bro. Like, it was so much New Japan history in this match, bro. Just from AJ wearing the New Japan gas mask from the Bullet Club era, you know, like you said, Michael Cole giving the history. It was so much going through this match, man. But like I said, straight up and down. From they once they took out the partners and such, you know what I'm saying? OC took out Judgment Day to make it a clean one-on-one match. Boy, it was up from there. It was a great back and forth, man. Great back and forth. A match that really has a lot of great replay value, and I personally say a little better than their TLC match from 2017, obviously, because it's a little bit more story implemented into it. And just seeing Finn, you know what I'm saying, trying to fight off the calf crusher, and then you got Finn trying to get, once he get his spot in his move, you know what I'm saying, he gets that shit, or AJ counters, and it was so much good, you know what I'm saying, back and forth and chemistry between these two guys that I'm going to be honest, man, keep this going. Keep it going. I don't care what you do with OC in Judgment Day, but bring this back for the Rumble or Mania, man. Like, don't let this just be it. The chemistry is too good, and I feel like their story is only beginning right now.
What's the pay-per-view in December?
There's no pay-per-view in December.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that was like the big thing. I think a lot of people, and I did see Wrestle Talk say something about it, because
you got Rumble in January.
It should be like
you got Rumble in January. You got Elimination Chamber in February, and then Road to WrestleMania, and you got Mania in April. So they really don't need a pay-per-view, and you know what I'm saying? Could think of how late, given how late Survivor Series is, all you need to do is your build up into the Rumble. because the Rumble is I think like the first week of January, I believe.
Last week?
Hold on. Royal
Last
Rumble
week of January?
2023 and
Wait,
oh
what
yeah,
is it?
January 28th. Sorry, I'm thinking of the no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of February
January
4th, which is
28th.
the Grammy. Yeah, January
That's J.
28th. So what's that?
Cole's
So
birthday.
pretty much 2 months of build up to go into your Royal Rumble. So if anything, you have some really big, you know what I'm saying, matches and show. Oh, plus you got the World Cup, you know what I'm saying, finishing up. So you got some big matches you can, you know what I'm saying, do off of that on your SmackDown show. You can build up, you know what I'm saying, build up into, you know what I'm saying, going later in the month. You know, you can have a holiday show and all of that stuff, whoop de whoop, to make it feel like something important, you know. They can go the AEW route, you know, have a fancy television show, a fancier, you know what I'm saying, spice it
Yeah.
up a little bit just to lean over into Rumble season. I would do that. But back into, like I said, with Finn and AJ, definitely would like to see them continue this feud, man. It's like I said, I feel like the story's only beginning, and I feel like they can finally do something to separate them from New Japan. Like, you can't take New Japan out of their history, but I would love to see them build a story for themselves with WWE history. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that will start now. Um, what's the next joint we had on there? We had the women's match, I believe. It was the Shotzi and Ronda. We pretty much talked about that already. And then moving on from there, I'm gonna be honest. I honestly don't know what's next for Ronda. I just, it's not that I don't have faith in the SmackDown women's division or championship division. It's just that they haven't shown me anything to keep me enthralled and intrigued. And it's just, I always feel like when that's starting to happen, that's when it's like, we need to call Charlotte. Like, and I know people hate it. Oh, Charlotte holds the title hostage, whatever, whatever. But this is the reason why. These be the
I
reasons why.
I feel like it can be good. What's going on with Ronda?
Everybody want her and
Like
Shayna
you
to like
said,
face off with each other, but
like
unless
we
Shayna
said
like,
with
but
in other pods, like we said it on the last pod, we said it on a couple pods ago, we said it on Frash pod. Like the main storyline with women when it comes to championships would be like, this my best friend, we fell out.
I mean,
Now
they
it's
literally
fine.
just did that with Finn and AJ.
She got the title. I want that. But
They
I feel
literally
like
just
the
did that with
Shayna
Finn
could
and AJ.
I feel like the
Nobody said
Shayna
anything.
I feel like it'll be good. It could be good. I think it's just them. I think they're
They
just
don't have. I
bad at
think,
acting.
and
They're
if I'm
not
not mistaken, the
interested.
people that produced that match was, I know it might have been. I think TJ did that. No. It was Brian Kendrick and Jason Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, that did that
Oh,
match.
yeah, I know two. I know both. Jason Jordan did two. I
Jason
think he did the
Jordan
War
also
Games.
did Finn, and I think he also did. No, he did the triple threat. No. I think he did Finn and AJ. I think, yeah, Jason Jordan did Finn and AJ. Michael Hayes and Shane Helms did the men's War Games match. I
I
believe
know.
Adam Pearce did the triple threat. I just said who did the women's SmackDown championship match. You had TJ Wilson and Petey
Jason
Williams.
Jordan.
No,
Oh
TJ
wow.
Wilson, Tyson Kidd, and Petey Williams did the women's War Games match. And I think TJ Wilson did one by himself.
Probably was Ronda.
No. Because
But
Brian Kendrick and Jason Jordan did that one. Or it might
oh,
have been vice
well,
versa. I know Brian Kendrick was on there.
shout out to Brian Kendrick on his
Oh, I don't
tryout
really
back.
think we should really shout him out. It's kind of
Why we say
awkward that they
whole
brought him
verses
back because,
from 444 that say certain things about a religious group, but we can't shout out somebody who's actually saying like it's a conspiracy. Like I said these things.
bro, he said shit like, what was it? Reptiles killed some, like, what was it?
Bro, he a
It was some weird
conspiracy
shit, bro.
theorist, bro. He a
Yeah, bro, that
conspiracy
nigga's a
theorist.
weirdo, bro. Like,
That
shut
don't
up.
take away
Like,
from what he doing in the ring.
that nigga's a
That don't take
weirdo,
away
bro.
from what this man can do in the ring and what
He's
he
not in
can
the ring though.
produce.
He hasn't been in the ring in a while.
That's not taking away what he can produce.
And he produced a boo-boo match.
Wait, hold on. What match did he do? The women's?
I just said it for the
Shotzi
third time. Shotzi and Ronda.
I mean, shit. You gotta work with what you got.
The caping is real, but your man's is a fucking weirdo.
No, the caping was real. Like Stephen A. was caping for fucking Jerry Jones. I'm sorry.
Like, what was this? What was the shit this nigga Brian Kendrick was saying, bro? This nigga was saying some fucking weird
Bro, he
ass
was
shit.
just saying like conspiracy theories out loud. That's it.
This nigga is a fucking creepo.
I'm getting mad.
Don't be on no fucking conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Bear shit, bro. Oh yeah, this nigga was saying some shit like reptiles. Oh, he said, didn't he say like the Holocaust wasn't real or some shit like that? This nigga said, what did he say, bro? Well, he apologized first off, but
Apologize.
nah, they didn't even put the comments up what this nigga was saying, bro. Dog was off his rocker, bro. Oh yeah, he was good because he was on AEW. Then they took him off the card.
Yeah, he asked for his release.
This was like this year actually.
It was earlier this year. Like he asked for his release, got released from WWE.
Jewish medics
about to start on AEW, and then they fired him before he went on. Remember, I think we was in the chat talking about that. He got fired like 2 hours before the show, I think.
Okay, this is what Brian Kendrick said. The Holocaust is overblown, and the Red Cross stated it was only 250,000 Jews who were killed, and the number was blown up to justify the creation of Israel. The gas chambers were for delousing, and some evidence suggests that the Allies mocked up death camps to expand the lie. Also, the Russians killed 10 million Catholics during the same period, and they didn't receive a country for their loss. That one might be some truth to it, but still, my nigga, come on, bro. Like,
I feel like as somebody who wondered why we was learning about the Holocaust in February in high school and had speakers from the Holocaust, and I'm not downplaying that in any type of way, but why? We really sat there for 2 days and watched Schindler's List during class periods.
It's called, learning about other people's history, not just yours. It's like a world full of other people, that live on it, and they have a history and they have a story too. We're not the only people in the world with a story. We're not the only people in the world that go through treatment.
It is, but we did this. That was a yearly tradition.
It wasn't a yearly tradition. We didn't even do it the next year. But anyways, I was really, it wasn't that I was side-eyeing Triple H for hiring him back, but him doing it very silently is the reason why he did it very silently. But moving on, like I said, we had the triple threat match for the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory. But Austin Theory taking the title in a very surprising win. So what's your thoughts? I mean, people know my thoughts by now, but what's yours?
I honestly, I agree with it. I'm not mad at it, and I'm lagging out very bad, so I don't know. Okay, I'm back, but I agree with it. I like Austin Theory. Um, I feel like he definitely deserved it more than Seth. I feel like he deserved it more than fucking not
Deserve
quite as
is a
much as Bobby,
stretch.
but I feel like he needed that since he lost the title and stuff like that. He needed something. Like, come on, you're not gonna promise the owner of the company is not gonna promise me some shit, and then when you come in, everything just should. Yeah, it might have been a popular opinion that nobody wanted me with it, but at the same time, it could have went somewhere else more interesting. So, pay what you owe, nigga. And plus,
I personally thought
Bobby don't
either
need it.
choice would have been
I'm sorry,
good.
Bobby doesn't need it, and Seth doesn't need it right now.
Well, Seth
Like
kind of
Bobby's in
did
a
need
few.
the title. That was the whole point of us being happy he won the title because he didn't have a title in almost 2 to 3 years.
He don't need that title.
But that's the point we kind of do when you want to build your mid card. You kind of need guys like
Okay,
Seth,
but
Seth
the
Rollins,
chase,
and that
the
lineage.
chase, the chase is always better than the capture.
He didn't chase it. That's the
But
thing.
him not having a title in almost 3 years is not him a main title in over 3 years is not him chasing on. Him not having these promos is not chasing it.
Well, only title that he was technically chasing was the world title. He wasn't chasing the mid card title. He just said, "Fuck it, I want a title," and cheated and got the title off of Bobby,
So
and pretty much was playing defense since then.
Seth doesn't need a mid card title right now.
Well, then once
The
again,
only
when
thing
you're
I would like
trying
to
to
see,
build the mid
the only,
card, you need guys like Seth Rollins. Once again, he even stated
I'm not
himself
saying you
he'll be the
don't. I'm
Macho
not saying you
Man.
don't, but he
He'll
does
be
not
the
need
Macho
that title.
Man
He needs the
to
main
to
title.
to Roman Reigns, like Hulk Hogan, which means he doesn't mind being the superstar playing second
Yep.
fiddle. And we already know Macho Man is one of the greatest intercontinental champions of all time.
But so, how many reigns does Seth have as U.S. champion?
This will be his third,
Third.
if I'm not mistaken. Nothing wrong with that.
Let me Wikipedia this. But like I said, the
Especially when
only
that's the
title
main
that
especially when that's the main title on Monday Night Raw.
yeah, I see what you're saying now with that. But I would
Yeah.
like to see him with, honestly, was interested in seeing him with, other than a world title, was the tag team titles when he had that little thing with Kevin Owens. That was the only
Yeah,
titles I was really interested in seeing him with. And I want to see him with a main title, so don't get me wrong with that. And not to take away from the U.S. title, because it is the main title on Raw right now. But
like once again, we got to build prestige for titles. We can't just have every great storyline and all the things surrounded by the world title.
yeah, so why can't? Oh wow. So why can't I'm sorry, I forgot what I was saying. I seen something crazy.
Are you gonna remember it?
I'm
But
trying.
I mean, like I said, for
He
me,
is,
I think Austin Theory. I think he's taking the moment and he's doing very well with it. I just thought that Seth could have, held it for a little while longer. But we're here now, and it's Seth versus Austin Theory going forward. And you got Seth as the straight baby face, but still being kind of like Seth that we grew to love, versus Austin Theory with, what I'm saying, pretty much moving with this chip on his shoulder. He's trying to prove to people that he's not a kid. He's a grown ass man. And that's like, even though he got the fluke win, he's taking it in stride and is going to take this opportunity and go from there. Like, I'm looking at him right now as like he can pretty much be the new ultimate opportunist type energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not forced. It's like I'm really snatching my shits. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, I don't give a fuck. However, I gotta get it. Like he can be moving. Like he could take. Like I don't want to say he has it, but you could like low key shank some of your best hills of the past like 2010s. Like you can get that energy of that 2014 Seth. You know what I'm saying? You can get that energy of that 2007 Edge. You know, you can have that brashness of a 2009 Randy Orton. Like I see a little of that potential in him. Like just the little things he's been doing over these past couple months. I see that potential, him being a really, really great heel. But once again, kind of implementing all those things, like taking the opportunity to, like I said, he was getting hit with the Falcon Arrow. Bobby hits Seth with the spear. Austin lands on Seth for the 1-2-3. He don't give a fuck. He got the title. He's out. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about the build up before, smokes Dolph Ziggler, smokes Seth Rollins. You know, like a lot of things that I see that I like to see in my heels. You know what I'm saying? Opportunists, mean streaks. You know what I'm saying? Purpose for why you do what you do. You know, I like it all. I really do. And to see where he's at right now, like I like it's a story behind it. It's not just this is the future. No, it's like I'm the now, my nigga. But I'm showing y'all that I'm not just the new kid on the block either, though. I'm holding mines. Like I'm standing on mines. You know. So I really love to see that from with Austin Theory, and I think that was a good moment to like he held his own in the match. I'm not taking that. He held his own in that match. I ain't gonna say he was carried or nothing like that. He did his thing.
That's something I want to see, like with Austin Theory. Like I'd like to see not an opportunist, but a golden child type persona. Like
Well,
I was
you
blessed from
already
the
had that
beginning,
when
the
Vince was
CEO
here.
that founded.
That's literally what
No,
you just
like
had
just
when
take it
Vince
to
was
that
here.
next heelish level. Like take it to that next heelish ass level. Like work with that. Like yeah, I was playing with it before, but I'm serious now. Like I was blessed. Nobody else was blessed with this like I was. Unless you're Drew.
Well,
If he
that's what I'm
get
saying. He's doing that now.
if
He's
it's a
just not being all smiley about it. He's not skinning and grinning
but
and putting a
that's
camera in your face with saying it. You know what I'm saying? He's grilling you. He's in your face with it. He's saying those same things. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
he's saying now he's like the youngest 2-time. Like, but the thing is though, bro, I think he's like he doesn't care about none of that. Like he just wants that spot. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't care about the young. He don't care about
Mhm.
that the titles that come with. You know what I'm saying? The youngest this and all of that. He just want that. He just want people to understand that he's here. He still understands everything that Vince seen in him, but he's moving with the motivation of Triple H though. You know what I'm saying? With Triple H's motivation behind him. You know, with that brashness, that rawness that Triple H's characters have, you know, but still that confidence and that Vince instilled in them. Like, yo, you are going to be the future, you know. So yeah, I definitely see that with Austin Theory. I really love it, bro. I really do. I really do, man. I'm interested to see him grow from here. Like it's like when we seen Cena turn heel, and it was like, oh, he actually has some character. You know, like right
Man.
before he like switched the gear up, he was still in his prototype gear, but he was just tagging up with other heel characters and such. And you started to see the character being built, like you know, say from the ground up, you know. And I see it with Austin, you know, same way. But yeah, man, shout out to those three guys. Put on a really great match. My actual favorite match after the men's War Games match because just Seth was wilding. You had Austin wilding, Bobby wilding, so many different energies. Like I stated on the Get Your Bars Off, like you had Seth playing defense, trying to keep this title that, you know what I'm saying, his first big title in a good while. He's trying to hold it down. Then you got, you know what I'm saying, Bobby trying to get his payback. You got Austin Theory with this chip on his shoulder. Like everybody has a reasoning to take this title, and they're all putting their full passion into this match to get this title. Like Seth doing that jumping off of Austin Theory back into the curb stomp.
Oh my Lord. Like,
bro. It's some moves they did in this pay-per-view that is definitely going to be in the next WWE 2K game. I will say that for sure.
The stories be like, yo, when he pulled that out, like, I love multi-man matches when you don't know which way it's going to go. Like, it could go this way, it can go this way, it can go that way. I hate the tag team type match where you know this team is going to win. But a multi-man match, like a triple threat, I love them shits. It dipped off and didn't even tell nobody. But honestly, this was my second favorite match behind AJ Styles and Finn being first. Then it's this match, a triple threat US Championship match. Then it's gonna have to be the men's war game match because I knew I was going to turn out. I just didn't know how.
I had to get some beverages. I was thirsty.
Play out. No, it's cool.
That cottonmouth be crazy.
Starks back. Anderson Starks.
Woo.
But the
that
next
good old
match
vitamin Christian orange juice be the components, man. I tell you. Whew. But yeah. So yeah. Moving on from there, man. Main event time. So right before the main event, we had a little fallout from SmackDown. A little conversation needed to be had. You know, Jey Uso pulling up on Roman prior to the match and such, pretty much letting him know like what happened with Sammy and all of that such from Friday with KO and his talk with KO's talk with Sammy. And pretty much something like, yo, watch him, all of that such. He might turn on blah blah blah. And when he said, Sammy lied in Jay's face when he asked him, did he talk to KO? We told that to Roman. Roman said, yo, I'll see if he's lying when I talk to him. I'll see it in his eyes. Blah, blah, blah. Move on later in the show. He brings Sammy in, talks to him, pretty much reiterates it like, yo, what happened with KO, all of that such. Sammy kept it funky with him, told him the truth, and say, yo, KO was just talking to me. I ain't really say nothing back. I was just there. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, told him, I got you. I'm not turning on you. I got your back. Whoop-de-whoop. Gave him the hug that he always gives people, but gives that little look into the space where it's like, I believe you, but nah, I don't really believe you. You know what I'm saying? So it just added so much more stakes into the match because you really didn't know what was going to happen with Sammy, if he was going to turn or not. So we get into the match. It starts with Jey Uso versus Butch, which good chemistry, man. Butch was ready for this moment, man. He was turned in that little beginning part. Fucking Jey Uso up. Go ahead.
And when I say that this is my third favorite match, like, it was a good match overall. Every match was good except for the women's championship match once again. And don't apologize for saying that, but yo, like these niggas always out there giving it they all, like the Brawling Brutes and Sheamus. Like, kudos to them for their little match run having right now, because it's crazy. It's really, really crazy.
Would it be too off kilter to call them, because they have so many bangers? Would it be weird to call them the Bang Bros?
Yes, especially because they're white.
They can't be the Bang Bros. And then like when they go to shows together, they could ride on the Bang bus. Yo. Nobody's thought of this. No, just me. Okay, I guess. All right, man. Oh God. Yo, the Bang Bros having bangers and then go get on the Bang bus to go to another show to have more bangers.
We heard you the first time.
Oh God. But yo, man, Seth, I mean not Seth. So you had Jey Uso and saying Butch going at it until Ridge Holland came in. Obviously, they got the advantage. They smoking Jey Uso boots in that ring up until it's time for the Bloodline, the next competitor, to come out. And everybody know, what I'm saying, bro, Jimmy's gonna come help his brother. And that's until Roman stops all of that. Grabs Jimmy, says no. Sammy, I want you to go out there. And just that little moment, bro. Oh my God. Once again, more stakes, more like gut-wrenching story, suspense, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Suspense. That's the word I'm looking for. Suspense. And it's added and added and added and added into this match, bro. I feel like I'm watching Prison Break with so much anxiety being like just ran through me, bro. Like, so he goes in there, he's helping Jay out wherever he can, reiterating to him that he got him. He got you. I got you, bro. I got you. I got you. You know what I'm saying? And as you know what I'm saying, they're just working together, or he really just helping Jay wherever he can, because Jay really still ain't fucking with him. And throughout this, he's really not. He even super kicks him in the match accidentally and just stares at him like, that was amazing. I'm so happy to do that. You know what I'm saying? Through that, you had most of the rest of the competitors coming in, filling in the match, doing their thing. A lot of great chemistry throughout the match and such, man. It was just craziness everywhere, but controlled craziness. Like I said, you had stories playing out within the match. Like you said, you had Sammy finding ways to, you know what I'm saying, save Jay wherever he can. And, you know what I'm saying, whether it's Drew McIntyre trying to suplex him off the joint or Ridge Holland trying to clothesline him into the cage, Sammy is there to save him, you know? Even when you had little moments where Sammy and KO are about to, face off, they get, pulled away. Like so many little things, man, were happening just really with Sammy throughout this joint, for real, bro. Sammy was the MVP.
When everybody running from Ridge Holland because they don't want to get injured.
That too. But Sammy definitely was the main character of this movie, of this TV show, whatever you want to call it. He was the main character. Like, boy did he play his role. Like, Jesus Christ. But like I said, again, towards the end of the match, we get Roman's entrance. And boy, does it feel like final boss energy. Like, just seeing him get out of his chair, or really just throughout the match also, before he even comes out, just his facial expressions throughout the match that they're showing, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, Jay and Sammy not on same page together, Roman shaking his head, or it's Solo coming in and destroying all competitors. He's just sitting there looking at Heyman like, yeah, that's my guy. You know, like, it's so many things that he was doing that was just the facial expressions, kept more things added, you know what I'm saying, to the story, and just little implications that make it such a good, you know what I'm saying, match, you know. Then, like I said, he gets into the match. He's walking down to the match slow. You got, you know what I'm saying, while the time is ticking, you got Paul Heyman counting down. He's just tightening his glove up and such. You're shaking like, you know what time it is, bro. I'm about to get busy in this joint, you right? Like, and then he walks down to the ring, gets in there. War game starts. It fucking starts. And boy, does it's all shit, bro. Roman was giving out, you know what I'm saying, Superman punches. Like, people, it was going crazy everywhere, man. Roman was smoking Ridge Holland. Like, that super kick from the Usos, the super kick into the spear needs to be in the next WWE 2K game instantly. That shit was fire. I don't think they ever done that together like that before.
Man. And then a splash. If they had trios tied, oh my God.
I'd like to see that
That'd be
in the
overkill, but if
future
they
for
had to do a
sure. Because I
fight,
mean, but neither here nor there. Roman was cooking food, even to the point where we get to the finally get to the face off of KO and Roman towards the end of the match, and they're going at it. The back and forth is good. You got Roman trying to hit his finishers. You got, you know what I'm saying? He hits the I think he tried to hit the spear, but KO like kicked out of it. I think Roman tried to hit this. What he tried to no, was it the Superman punch? Then he tried to do the spear. KO countered it into the pop-up power bomb into the stunner and was about to get the 1-2-3. But as soon as it hit 2 and he's about to come down for that 3, the referee, Sammy grabs this referee's arms with every bit of strength in his little ginger body, you know? And
him and KO have not had
bro, can you
contact.
please remind me? And I've still been trying to find out what other match did that happen? Like somebody grabbed the ref's arm to stop the count.
It happened a lot over the past couple years, but I can't really
I
think
feel like
of
it
one.
happened this year. Like this
It
year, I
happened a
believe.
few times the past couple years.
I gotta find out, man. I don't know if it was an FTR match or
I think it was a it was a Roman match too. It was an FTR and a Roman match.
I gotta find out. But
Somebody
I
had
remember
hit,
seeing that though, bro.
somebody
But
had
there's
grabbed the
no
ref.
slight on Sam because it's a different story. It made it still great to the story. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like saying a cameraman can't have like you remember in the 90s in music videos, damn near every music video had that blue light in it. Like it was that blue hue on artists, like you know, but did it not make the video look fire? Like it made it look that shit was hard. Like I'm putting that shit in my shit too. I'm adding it to my vision. It's a different vision, but I want that effect in it. It's gonna make my shit just, you know what I'm saying? Or certain camera shots in a movie, like it's yeah, perfect. The Kira motorcycle slide. It's been almost in every movie by now, but it's still fire nonetheless. Like it still make that scene look cold. Like we know where it's from. It still look cold though. You know what I'm saying? And it adds to a story. So seeing it with Sammy and doing it with that, man, it still was fire. And seeing KO's reaction, he was just like, yo, he really is doing this. Like it wasn't like anger or nothing. It was more so like, yo, bro, you really going there. Like you really went to the other side. And they were about to go off and such, and as soon as they're about to do their thing, you have Roman still grabbing on KO's kicking him off, and then Jimmy tries to come in with a super kick, grabs his leg, KO does, and then Sammy hits that just dastardly friendship breaking soul selling low blow to KO. And then literally as KO's like this soulless body, lifeless body is on on Sammy's chest, Sammy just drops him and just goes like that, just says, yo, here's your sacrifice. You trust me now, Jay, and offers him KO to Jay. And he hits the Uso splash on him for the 1-2-3. And that was it, man. And it's even more fitting that Jay Uso pins KO given their feud and history over the year.
I think it's going to play a lot, and I think whenever this ends and whenever KO and Sammy unite in tag team,
I don't want to say.
titles, I feel like Jay is going to take the pin.
Oh, for sure, probably. I mean, then who knows? But I want to say down the line, I would like to see a Jay Uso and KO feud separate from this. Like build their own story because the chemistry is just there. It's there. Like even the match they had on Monday night was still good. And they main evented and still cooked food, bro. And Jay Uso back to calling himself main event Jay Uso. I love it. I love it. Main event Jay Uso is back, baby. But yeah, man, that was well, also you had after the low blow, KO was in the corner and Sammy went to Roman, and Roman's like pretty much like do it, like finish the job, and Sammy hits him with that haluva kick, and that's when he was on his chest and he lays him out for the Uso splash for Jay to hit, and it's just boy that sequence, and then for the 1, 2, 3, and they all hold hands is in the air, but Jay and Roman are kind of just looking over at Sammy in a little way. I don't know if that was just the freeze frame they caught, or maybe I don't know, but they definitely were looking at him like, yeah, this we see we see you now, but we still don't trust you. Like, do you think they still trust him after that match? Because I will say they swerved everybody. Everybody thought Sammy was turning that night. Him having that conversation and doing what he did to KO, everybody was more than likely was just like, whoa, wasn't expecting that.
Because I see nobody else logical along the lines that would take the titles off the Usos. Like, you can't.
Well, I mean,
like, how many times
right now, storyline wise, is nobody. I wouldn't even implement nobody else into the storyline right now. The New Day was your closest bet. That was your closest bet.
Like, fucking who else? The
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Can I be totally honest with you? Totally honest with you.
Hit row.
I don't know why you even think that, but FTR, their contracts are over.
Coming back.
Their contracts are up, if I'm not mistaken, April of 2023. That's right after Mania. Woo! Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Right after Mania?
I'm just saying.
I mean, in a perfect world, I need to see them with them AEW tag titles when they got all them shits real quick.
They've been said they wanted to face the Usos when they were in WWE. They wanted to face the Usos. Yeah, they never got a chance to.
I mean, now Tripp's still about his NXT guy, tag team guy.
But yeah,
that's good booking, right?
But let's move on to Monday Night Raw. We started the show off with Becky Lynch, our free commercials. She pretty much came back, you know what I'm saying, real. You felt that this was the man. This was the man that we grew to love in that 2018, 2000, what was that, 2007? No, the man started in what, 2017, right? 18?
18 going into 19.
Yeah, around there. And it felt like that vibe again, man. Like, just her energy with the people missed her. She was coming back as a baby face. She was just being herself. It wasn't that super braggadocio, like over the top gimmick. And she was just being with the people, her going out there, talking with the people. Shout out Bob and Zach, like the people like that, the people she was out there vibing with and such, man. It was really dope. Like, and plus, you really don't see that too much with your superstars where they just go into the crowd and just openly talk to the crowd. No gimmick, no written shit, nothing. None of that was fake. That was all real. It was real raw interaction with your fans. And I thought that was so amazing to do. Even when she went out, the first thing she seen a fan with her shirt on. I like your shirt. Seen a fan with a Seth Rollins shirt on. I like your shirt too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like little things like that, man. Just making it like for a fan also is a very personal moment where you're getting that high five or she's talking to you or, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a great moment for all those fans, man. It was shout out to her for doing that. But it's led to Bayley coming out. And, you know what I'm saying, them two going on the back and forth and shit. And Becky really kind of cooking Bayley, real talk, calling her a fucking loser. Like, saying all you've been doing is losing since you came back. Like, I came back and won. I was like, Jesus, Becky, are you still here or not? Like, but that's the man.
I just got to say this. The horsewomen, the two that win the most, Becky and Charlotte, and then the two that win the least, that lose the most, Bailey and fucking Sasha. I felt that when she said that shit. I was like, damn. And
Damn.
it took me to Sasha when Sasha had them like 4 reigns and they all equaled up to like 2 months or a month. I was like, damn.
Insanity, bro.
Finish her ass now.
But yeah, man, while they going at it and such, you had the damage control gang up on Becky. They try to jump her, and there's a big brawl that goes out from the crowd to this to the merch stand and such. And Becky's holding her own, smacking her with anything that's around her. It's like some real hood shit, right? I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like whatever's around me, y'all getting hit with that shit. But y'all ain't about to jump me in this bitch. Like I don't give a fuck what's around. Motherfuckers getting hit with chairs, glasses, like whatever's around, like whatever. But cool little brawl to really establish the toughness that Becky Lynch has, the man, all of that such, man. I loved it personally. I love the reintroduction of the man back on Monday Night Raw. Did you have any thoughts on it? I mean, it was just that was my thoughts.
Nah, I just love the fan interaction as a fan, seeing that on TV, and I'm like one of the people who like. I'm one of those fans who love watching on TV and I love being in person, but I only want to go to live events that's on TV. Like I said, SmackDown is going to be in Buffalo this weekend. Shout out to WWE. Make Buffalo SmackDown a thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. Make it a thing. I'm just saying. Every time they come here, they lit. So hopefully we get.
Well, actually, we're gonna get the first show, the first SmackDown, the fallout from Survivor Series.
Yeah, so we should be live and in the building for that.
But yeah, man. I was interested to see where it's going with Becky and Bailey. After that, what else did we get on the show, man? Let me see. Pardon me. I had it all. I had it all in my head before we went into the Survivor Series shit. But here we go.
All right.
So yeah, we had Mia Yim versus Rhea Ripley. That ended in a no contest, finally getting them two going at it for their one-on-one. Really good match between the two for sure. They gave them some good time to go at it. But it ended in a no contest when Dominic was starting to interfere in the match and AJ came out to help. And that led to the rest of the Judgment Day coming out and just everything went crazy from there. And then that led to the 4-on-4 that we all have been waiting for, with the OC versus the Judgment Day, all of them versus, you know what I'm saying, each other, women included. And it was good, man. It was a really good match. They all went at it, man. Even the point where Mia Yim suplexed Finn Balor. And then right when that happened, you had Rhea Ripley catch Mia Yim slipping and hit her with the riptide for the win. But, man, it was such a good match, man. And a lot of people really felt like this should have been on Survivor Series, but I'm happy it happened on Raw. And you had Judgment Day get their win back, especially with losing on Survivor Series. He got his W back on Monday Night Raw. He didn't technically get the W, but the team did. So they lost the battle, but they won the war. We also had Street Profits making their return back to WWE. They went against Alpha Academy. Solid match. I mean, them two always got good chemistry. The Alpha Academy always been putting on good matches this year. Street Profits still looking like their old selves. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, going through the crowds, interacting with the crowds and such like the old times. It was good to see them back in the fold of things and such. And to be honest, I'm interested to see what they're – I mean, it's a lot of people in the tag division that still have a great tag division without having the titles around it. But they definitely – I mean, I don't want them to kind of just be doing stuff and while the titles are pretty much held up on SmackDown. But then again, I don't want them to force another Uso versus Street Profit feud either. We also have. Oh, go ahead, pardon me, sir.
I agree with you, but how else would they like we said earlier? We're not gonna get back too onto it. How they gonna get the titles off of them? And
I think Elimination Chamber might
I
let
want
us
that shit.
give us a little bit of more opening and to see what's going to happen for the tag titles,
Like
especially if they bring back the tag team
anything,
Elimination Chamber.
if anything, right now, like I can't even say intern because we can't even say they intern because we got defending undisputed champions. But you know,
Well, let's see, man. We also had.
I'm sorry. I mean, at least
Go ahead.
bring the NXT titles tag team up and have them fight them for at least a title shot or whatever. Like have them pop up on NXT here and there.
Do something, man. I
Make
don't
it
know what
seem
they.
like they're gonna win. Something like
But Pretty
somebody gonna feud
Deadly,
with an
Pretty
NXT
Deadly is
champion.
nah. But also, like I said, we
Yeah, I
had
don't want
Austin
them.
Theory and Seth Rollins going at it. And you had Theory, you know what I'm saying? He never really wanted to be called, he don't want to be called kid again and all of that such after, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much what I was telling you and during the match. We were talking about the triple threat. But Rollins came out to the ring to congratulate Theory on winning the title and such. And he wanted to challenge them for the title, but he kept calling them kids several times, it's pissing him off. And Theory pretty much said that he'll fight him on a champ's time. Typical heel shit. So we're going to be seeing that going on for the future, which I'm interested in. That's like I said, I'd like to see Seth, helping the new talent out, man. It's always good to see. He's definitely always willing and always does it a good way too when he's out there with these new guys. We also had Dexter Lumis and Miz finally going at it in the anything goes match for a contract on Raw and the back pay that Miz owes Dexter Lumis for all of these shenanigans that he was supposed to pay Dexter Lumis for, but he never did. That was a solid joint, man. Dexter Lumis ended up having Miz tap out and got his contract and got the bag of money, was giving it out to the kid and get his one kid $100 bill. And Miz came and attacked Dexter Lumis and ended up taking his bag of money and even took the $100 bill from the kid. And it was so good. Reminded me of like when Ted DiBiase, you know what I'm saying, kicked the ball from the kid and made him lose the game. It's just like taking that little joy as a heel, as a heel. It was such good heel heat, and you could just see him smiling because he know he had him right there. But as soon as he turned around, Johnny Gargano sminged him with a super kick, took the bag and gave the money, get $100 bill back to the kid and all of that such. But I'm gonna be honest though, I don't think these people are super over about Johnny Gargano right now. Like when he came out, super kicked him. Like when it took that $100 bill, oh man, boos rang out. As soon as he turned around, got super kicked by Johnny Gargano, people were just like, oh. But when they gave the money back to the kid, that's when everybody was cheering and such. They were more happy the kid got the $100 bill back than anything.
I think because it's such a random ass feud. Like,
was Miz trying to put
like
another nigga on? Like a lot of the Ohio guys try to stick together in WWE, and Miz is just trying to look out for his fellow Cleveland brethren for real. That's what I take it as.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why I see them together. We also had Candice LeRae coming back from her injury, quote unquote, versus Dakota Kai. But a more intense Candice LeRae, pretty much saying she had to reintroduce herself. Like she ain't coming here with smiling and giggling and such. She coming here to whoop some ass. And Dakota Kai was going to be her first victim, and she came through and did what she needed to do, a swinging net breaker from the middle rope, got her the W. I'm interested. Like I said, I've always been liking Candice LeRae since the Indies, so I like to see her on her more intense side in the wrestling ring. She's not just happy-go-lucky, you know what I'm saying, wrestler. No, she can wrestle with the best of them. You know what I'm saying, men included. So I like to see her, you know what I'm saying, going forward. You know what I'm saying, pushing this intense face. I can be super baby face, but I can whoop some ass too. You know what I'm saying? And then we had the main story of the night for the main event story, which was KO getting his revenge on the bloodline. You had KO coming out after the Usos. I mean, the Usos and Sammy pretty much were recapping Survivor Series, and Sammy just, you know what I'm saying, embracing Jimmy and telling him how he's been down with him since day one and all that such, and said that's really being day one, down since day one ish, and it was hilarious. And then you had him and Jay, you know what I'm saying, him just, you know what I'm saying, piecing it up with Jay and them, you know what I'm saying, hugging it out and all of that such whoop de whoop. And while they're having a big group hug, they're about to have Solo come in for the hug too. And Solo's just standing there, you know what I'm saying, contemplating if he should do it or not. And when they think he's about to do it, KO music hits and ruins the whole group hug. And he pretty much
One
comes
big
out.
happy Usi family.
Right. And he pretty much tells Sammy, well, Sammy thinks he's trying to come out and get revenge and fight him and all of that such. He's saying like, nah, bro, it's none of that. I actually get it. All the times I turned on you, like, I get it, bro. Like, so I'm actually done. Like, I'm done with the fighting. I'm done with the tagging, riding to the events together. All of that is done. We're through as just like friends completely. All of that shit. And Sammy said he feels the same way. All of that such whoop de whoop. And then Jay Uso's pretty much had, you know, saying Sammy follow up was like, you know, saying that you just said KO's just jealous that he doesn't have family. And KO says, well, I said I'll never fight Sammy, but I'll kick your ass any day of the night. And that leads to Jay Uso bringing back main event Jay Uso to wrestle KO in the main event of Monday Night Raw. And boy, was it a good ass match, man. These dudes, you know what I'm saying, they always tear the house down when they're in the match together. But you had them two going at it, you know what I'm saying, all throughout the match. But you had KO winning with the stunner, man. It was really good though. Like I said, he picked up the win with the stunner, even with, you know what I'm saying, you had Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa at ringside. And as soon as he got the pin, he skated right out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because he really just edged that win. Because I think what was it? I think what happened? What was it? I'm trying to remember the finish. Was it Jay? I think Jay was trying to do a splash or something like that. I think he missed or something like that, and he came up. He got the stunner. It was something like that. Then I don't want to say KO no sold the move, but it damn near looked like like he got right up to do that stunner. You know, he was out, but not like he was trying to get out of the match purposely, but like it was just trying to hurry and escape with the win. But it was a good ass match, and it just adds on to the great matches that KO and Jay have been having on WWE. Man, shout out to those two guys. But yeah, Monday Night Raw was really solid, man. Definitely, like I said, good follow up to Survivor Series. Stories are moving and shaking. You got Elias and what's his name, Matt Riddle teaming up and such. They talking about trying to go for the tag team titles. And the Usos pulled up on them and told them like, y'all the twos, we the ones, whoop de whoop, all that good stuff. So might be seeing that on the shows in the future and such, just to have them something to do with the titles. What else did we see? I told you we talked about the Alexa Bliss situation. I think what else happened. That's pretty much it, if I'm not mistaken.
KO and Roman kind of had a war of words after the match, after the War Games match.
Yeah,
that's about it. Nothing serious, just words. Grown men, KO did a spot, slapped him, and it kind of like fucked up his ear a little bit. It was unplanned.
Ruptured eardrum.
That's why Roman. Yeah, but it's not ruptured. He's cool. Then nothing happened.
I'm just trying to make sure I ain't forgetting anything. Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, man. On that note, shoot, man. Let's get ready to sign up out this joint, man. We got NXT deadline coming up soon. Definitely gonna be talking about that on the next show. We got AEW Dynamite coming up after, you know what I'm saying, this episode. So check that joint out. We'll be recapping that on the next show. And you already know, man, get your bars off podcast, get your bars off network. I'm your boy Ari Starks. This is Starks and Smarks with my boy Sue. Let them know where they can find you.
You can follow me at either one of these three names. A boy named Sue, SXDZ or S.DZ spelled out. You already know. Boy named Sue, Black Mafia, Black Mohican family. You already know. Get your bars on. Buffalo Bills. You already know. Go Bills. Thursday versus the Patriots.
You already know, man. Follow me at Ari Starks on all social media. Once again, this is Starks and Smarks, episode 12. We are out this joint, man. Love is love.